time we even talked about JD.
You're right. He's planning the presidency when they get rid of Trump.
So you think it's Musk, Musk Vance?
Possible.
Look at this. You know what? This is crazy. Look at he's playing. If y'all could see me, she all nodding, all old, and get her out.
As D.C. barrels towards yet another government shutdown, a bipartisan bill to keep the lights on was scrapped. And it has a lot of folks asking, who is in charge? Because I've been saying it for a while.
Yes, you have.
I've been saying that I think Elon Musk believes he's president. I do.
Well, you've been calling him vice president.
I've called him vice president. I called him president because I don't know what JD is doing. I hardly ever say, I don't.
They're not in the thing yet. To be honest, Republicans shouldn't really, Trump didn't necessarily have to come in and say anything about this bill. By the way, the bill was 1,500 pages long. We shouldn't have bills that long, but I'm not, just because you're showing me shorter papers, like a smaller amount of papers, does not mean that I all of a sudden trust the bill, okay? I don't like fake W's. Coming back to it, once again, we're going to watch ladies of The View lose their mind, erupt into chaos. Sunny's going to lead the way. Let's get into it.
I don't remember the last time we even talked about JD.
You're right. He's planning the presidency when they get rid of Trump.
So you think it's Musk, Musk Vance?
Possible.
Look at this. You know what? This is crazy. Look at he's playing. If y'all could see me, she all nodding, all old, and get her out. I'm sorry. What is she saying? Okay.
Hey, you know who? Stay away from the stairways. Because, people put the leg out to trip you going down the stairs. Watch out. But it kind of seems like maybe he is the president because he got a promotion of some sort that none of us knew about. Just look at the clip. You'll understand.
What's your message to Elon Musk?
Well, I was communicating with Elon last night. Elon and Vivek and I are on a text chain together. They understand the situation. They said, it's not directed to you, Mr. Speaker, but we don't like the spending. I said, guess what, fellas? I don't either.
It's pretty clear that they were about to pass the bill, and Musk intervened, and Trump followed him, and now we're headed into this crisis period. Eventually, they're going to have to get together and decide who the president is.
So, I mean, why? What's going on? Anybody?
Okay, so let me not be the person who just says everything against The View because I don't like the women on The View. I mean, as far as how they act, I don't know them personally. But guys, please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. I'm going to say thank you to everybody who is watching the videos. Thank you, guys.
Take it from anybody. What do y'all think is going on?
Well, it's a long-standing D.C. tradition, if we want to call it that the Congress decides until the 11th hour right before Christmas to fund the government. Right. And it's ridiculous. They think jet fumes and getting home for the holidays makes people more likely to compromise. But Trump doesn't want this bill this government funding bill passed because he doesn't want the debt ceiling to be raised in June when he's president. Republicans generally don't want to vote to raise the debt ceiling. They generally don't want to sign into law an increase in it. So Trump's actually aligned with Elon on this. Here's what I'm fascinated by. They both have main character energy. They both want to be powerful and the people in charge. And I'm not convinced that this alliance is going to be super long lasting. There's just a chance there's going to be friction between Elon and Trump. But I will say this, there was a micro drama brewing. Nick Jonas, one of my other favorite Jonas brother, retweeted something with Elon Musk, and people just dragged him and came for him and were like, how could you support this guy? I would just remind folks, we think of Elon as like the chaotic guy who tweets about politics on the internet. A lot of America thinks of a guy who builds rockets, who created Starlink, which could save thousands of lives.
Here's the thing, he's on track to be the first trillionaire in this country. Yes. And he wants to cut funding for farmers, for example. Yeah. You know, as they say, no farmers, no food.
Yeah.
No, and other working people.
Oh, hot take. No farmers, no food. Oh, well, look what I came together with myself as an old lady. I'm sorry. I don't have any problem against old people. It's just like, what's the bill? These hot takes are dangerous. Where did he say he wanted to cut funding for farmers? I am not a Elon defender. I told you I don't take fake W's, but I need to know if he said it. Then is it farmers or is it something to do? Does he want to cut the spending on a certain kind of plastic for the fertilizer that farmers use? and maybe they could get it cheaper somewhere else. This is the devil in the details that people need to pay attention to, and that The View, purposely does not provide. I don't know if that's the case. I'm just saying they don't go into it.
Well, so he's like the Grinch who stole Christmas, this guy. So why should anybody praise him?
My point is the disconnect, I think, between like average Americans who think of him and associate him with actually great things he's done. Tesla has done great things for this country and for this economy. And they're not thinking about that he's tweeting about government funding bills or conspiracy theories.
See, the problem is people really need to understand that he is not an elected official.
Yeah.
So he's in an advisory position, and so he's going to have conflict of interest with all of his businesses, because if he were an elected official, there would be a system of checks and balances, and he would have to divest from those businesses. So he's going to earn money from our government while running our government. And as Hakeem Jeffries said in a press conference, but also in this tweet, he said House Republicans have been ordered to shut down the government, hurt the working class Americans they claim to support. You break the bipartisan agreement, you own the consequences that follow. And the consequences are exactly, Joy, what you're talking about. They are hurting working people. You want to keep on saying they're hurting their own voters. Everybody keeps on saying, the Republicans are now the party of the working class. Well, working class is about to be
Well, and let us remember when the government shuts down, Congress still receives pay, which I think should not.
Members, but not staff. That always irks me.
Members, but they also in the spending bill asked for a raise. And normally I'm all for people having living wages, but they make $175,000, which is more than 90% of this country.
That has nothing to do with me. That is more than 90% of this country. Let me dead this right here. Okay. First of all, all of it is fake. Okay. And that's just really the answer. So the fact is, all of it is fake. When Hakeem Jeffries points out something like that, remember, this is a pork bill. It's all this pork stuff they put. The bill was 1,500 pages long. Then it looked like they got it down about 200 pages. Though I don't trust it still. I think it's still I haven't read it. I need to get into it. But Hakeem Jeffries doesn't care about people and all this bipartisan stuff or whatever. He just tweeted that because he's angry. I get the point that he was making if he meant it. We've been spending a ridiculous amount of money. I bet you what stayed in that bill was money to Israel and Ukraine. I bet you did. So you never get the truth from these people. Then this girl says about, you should have raises, but you make $175,000 and it's more than 90% of the country. I don't care. What the hell? Why do I have to always think about some other percent of the country, right? To be honest, if I was working full time as a nurse and like really busting my behind, I could make that much. And so then should I be worried about 90% of the country? I don't mean to be mean. Like, stop doing that. And now y'all making me defend these politicians. Okay? I don't care. I'm sorry. I know how that sounds. I'm just keeping it real, man. This is America. You have opportunity to get yourself out there, get an LLC, and start selling some books or do something where you could be making more than $175,000 a year. All right? Let us not forget. The opportunity is given to us by God. And I'll end with that.